Good morning, hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Euros Daily Debrief. And we have our first two sides in the quarterfinals of the Euros. First up, we have Switzerland, who beat Italy 2-0 in Berlin. And on my prediction video, I thought that Italy were going to be a big threat in this game because of their mentality, because of the way that they came through against Croatia. But knew that Switzerland were impressive in the group stages. They dominated the ball through Granit Xhaka as they did in the first game that I watched against Hungary particularly well, and they also hit Italy out wide on the break, and more to the point, Italy were just so poor up front, so toothless, lacked any sort of creativity, any sort of potency. It didn't look like they had any passion or desire to really get through, and that's going to call into question a lot about Luciano Spalletti's future. Italy have a track record of being ruthless with managers. Cesare Prandelli resigned straight after going out of the group stages at the 2014 World Cup. Roberto Donadoni was sacked after Euro 2008 when they reached the quarterfinals and were beaten on penalties by Spain. Which would have been probably a successful tournament by the standards of today. So Spalletti will be under a lot of pressure when it comes to his future. But whether he stays because of what he did at Napoli, because obviously he is a very good manager. There isn't very much out there to possibly replace him as well, because at least group of players isn't as good as it used to be. Italy were just all over the place though, and I thought that their mentality, that sort of tournament ideology that they have, would have pulled them through. But Switzerland, as I say, were phenomenal. They hit them out wide on the break, and their second goal. 9 seconds after the half-time break, when Spalletti will have been in on Italy, hopefully to get them going, and then straight away they lose the ball from their own kickoff and concede a goal. There was no pressure on the ball, the defence was poor, and that's what I mean about calling to question the passion and the desire. It's easy after defeat to question someone's passion and question someone's whether somebody wants it enough. But that was just not evident yesterday. And I think Italy have a lot of soul searching to do if they are to qualify for their first World Cup since 2014 for America in 2026. Germany against Denmark, and I think this one is really, really harsh on Denmark. There was a goal disallowed for offside by a toe. 2 minutes later, Denmark concede a penalty, which Kai Havertz scores. Then Jamal Musiala wraps the game up, and Denmark had been defending quite well up until that point, up until certainly the game was suspended for a bad thunderstorm in Dortmund. Then Germany started to come into the game a bit more, but once Denmark scored, it was incredibly harsh to disallow that goal for an offside. And I've said this about technology. I've lauded the technology at this tournament so far, but generally, there is a lot of re-refereeing the game, and it's another English set of referees as well. It's another Stuart Atwell moment where he's trying to re-referee the game constantly. It isn't just him; it's the whole English attitude to it. I think, again, I'll keep saying it. There's got to be a problem with that. And just after Xavi Simons in the previous in the group stage with Anthony Taylor and Stuart Atwell, many goals have been scored over the years that nobody thought would have been offside in any way, but now they get called offside because the game is being watched far too harshly. There's no way that there was any spirit of the game terms. There was no way that Denmark were getting any advantage from that. It was really, really disappointing to see that given. The penalty was harsh as well. And then Jamal Musiala wraps the game up with a brilliant finish to make it 2-0. Germany go through, and they are looking imperious at the moment. They are going to be a threat in that side of the draw, but they've got a very tough route to the final. Tonight is the turn of England. They will play Switzerland if they beat Slovakia. I think that it's a really, really difficult game to call. The Botka in midfield can cause issues for England tonight, but it's all down to them. If they turn up and they play their best football, then they'll win the game and they'll set up that game against Switzerland, I'm pretty sure. This doesn't look like a team that's building into a tournament. It looks like a team that's lost, doesn't understand what it's supposed to be doing, and isn't quite fit enough as well. That's the other thing. Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane don't look 100%. And thank you very much for joining me on this episode of the Euros Daily Debrief. I'll be back tomorrow. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're really enjoying these videos. I really enjoy making them, and I'll see you tomorrow.